Yo, have you ever heard of Uriana Julia Peleas Calderon, or Yuri as she was called? She was the 41-year-old Mexican lady who had pulled into a downtown LA restaurant, to a parking lot, and then she was snatched out of her car by ICE agents wearing masks. They threw her in a van, and then they transported her to a Customs and Border Protection facility, and there she was forced to sign voluntary self-deportation papers, but she refused to sign them. So then they took her to some warehouse and they just kept her locked up there. That's crazy. That shit is crazy, ain't it? Well, anyway, her family got her a lawyer and they held press conferences. People were protesting outside of the press conference. They were holding up signs saying, Free Yuri, and my mother's missing. And her daughter, who was left to fend without her mother, started a GoFundMe. And then even Mayor Karen Bash got involved, using this as another example of just how ICE is just purely evil, because she was saying even if you're here illegally, that doesn't give ICE the right to just kidnap people, which kind of makes sense. Then Karen Bass went like on every news show, and she was telling this horrible story about this kidnapped mother, and spreading the ugly realities of the Trump administration's deportation thing, and it's the reality that Trump has been hiding from us this whole time. But it turns out that Yuri wasn't kidnapped. She was just hiding from us to hustle up some sympathy money on that GoFundMe, which she did. She got some stupid bands up, but now she's gonna have to put that money toward criminal charges because she's charged with conspiracy and charged with making false statements to federal officers, and that's on top of being here illegally. They caught her shopping at a Bakersfield Mall, spending that GoFundMe money up. And now feds have put their focus on Mayor Karen Bass for perpetuating the lie, which led to a lot of violent clashes with masked ICE agents. My name is Marcus Russell. This is the Marcus Russell Show. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
Well, you guys, there was a story that a Mexican illegal woman was kidnapped by ICE, thrown into a warehouse, being forced to self-deport. And Mayor Bass and all the activists got behind this story because this, of course, was another example of how evil ICE is. And the family, of course, set up a GoFundMe page. I don't know, why, but there's the woman. It turns out she's they found her. She was at a Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
She was not deported. She was not thrown into some sort of, warehouse facility. Nobody forced her to self-deport, although now she's in a lot of big trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, Rachel, Democrats created this narrative that ICE is the Gestapo, that ICE is evil, and that they're kidnapping and disappearing people, and they wanted an example. So that's why Mayor Bass on July 1st leaned in, put her picture up, and tweeted this. She's a mother from LA, taken out of her car on her way to work, and then held in a warehouse as officers hoped she would self-deport. No hearing, just fear. This doesn't make anyone safer. But here's the problem. She faked her kidnapping, and DHS called him out yesterday, tweeting this. Mayor, you pushed a hoax. There is still time to delete this. This woman was never arrested or kidnapped by ICE or bounty hunters. This criminal illegal alien scammed innocent Americans for money and diverted limited DHS resources from Los Angeles. I think that's called caught red-handed.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. Democrats are so snake-bit when they pick these, their poster children.
See, those are the people rallying for her, by the way. Free Yuli!
And it's all completely made up on the internet, which is pretty comical. But they try, they're trying to make it look like some sort of scene out of Breaking Bad, where ICE agents came in but this is in the first one, whether Democrats are rallying around a Maryland dad or whoever else their victims are. The problem is that actually what the Trump administration is doing is going after criminal aliens and removing them from the country. And the people who are most relieved about this are people who live in neighborhoods where these people live. and
Yeah.
it's
Clearly, these guys are scam artists.
Yo, you know how sometimes vampires keep like a half turned human to be like their ghoul, they like servant who can, watch over the caskets and, you know, in the daytime, go tie up and untie whatever humans that they about to drink for lunch. Basically, take care of the day to day for the vampire because in the daytime the vampire can't handle business. He still got bills you got to pay, stuff vampires have to do in the daytime. Well, as I have proven with months and months of scientific research, Gavin Newsom is a vampire. Yeah, and that immaculate hair is a spiritual illusion. And he's already turned half of California, most of the West Coast, into bloodsuckers. But I believe that Karen Bass is Newsom's ghoul. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Karen is Newsom's ghoul. And I mean, first off, look at her. For real. Like, look at her. I know that's messed up, but I'm onto something, man. I'm really onto something. I'm really onto something. So, you know, I feel like she might just be doing what, the big vampires telling her to do. The big vampires telling her, go out here and I, I don't know. I'm gonna go to hell, y'all. I'm just saying, it's not all Karen Bass's fault. She's just doing what her master tells her to do. You know what I mean? I think at this point, there's no way we can save the West Coast from being the undead. There's already too many terms. So we just need to focus on the rest of the country. Just let them have their own stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe we should build a wall around California. All right, that's my story. Make sure you tap that like and subscribe button. Until next time, peace.